Episode 8, Riftwalker, alias Multiverse Worlds Reborn. "Hello, Alia," she said, her voice filled with malice. "It's time to face your greatest fear. It's time to face the truth." My breath hitched. This wasn't just another alternate me. This was something more. Broken. Lost. Evil. And she knew everything about me. Every fear, every doubt, every secret. "Who are you?" I managed, my voice barely a whisper. She smiled, a chillingly familiar smile. "I am you, Alia. The you that accepted the truth. The you that embraced the power. The you that stopped fighting." "That's not true," I said, shaking my head. "I would never become like you, wouldn't you?" she countered, her eyes glinting. "Look around, Alia. Look at the mess you've made. Worlds are dying because of you. People are suffering because of you. You opened the rift, and now you have to pay the price." "I'm trying to fix it," I said, my voice trembling. "I'm trying to save everyone." "Save them," she scoffed. "You can't save them, Alia. They're already lost. The only thing you can do is join me. Embrace the power, and together we can reshape reality in our image." "Our image?" I repeated, disgust rising in my throat. "Your image, you mean? I would never want to create a world like this." "Then you're a fool," she said, her eyes hardening. "You're clinging to a false hope, a childish dream. The multiverse is a chaotic, meaningless place. The only way to survive is to control it." She raised her hand, and the air crackled with energy. A wave of power washed over me, attempting to break my will, to force me to submit. "Resist, Alia," Zephyr yelled, his voice strained. I fought against the wave of power, focusing on the faces of my friends, my family, the people I was trying to save. I wouldn't let this thing take control of me. "I won't give in," I said, my voice filled with defiance. "I'll never become like you." "Then you'll die," she said, her eyes blazing. "And the multiverse will fall with you." She unleashed a torrent of energy, targeting Zephyr, Dr. Reed, and my parents. "No," I yelled, throwing myself in front of them, creating an energy shield. The energy slammed into the shield, sending me crashing against a wall. The impact knocked the wind out of me, but I managed to protect my friends and family. "Alia," Zephyr cried, rushing to my side. "Are you all right?" "I'm fine," I gasped, pushing myself up. "Focus on her. We have to stop her." Zephyr nodded, his eyes filled with determination. He turned to face the evil me, his hands glowing with energy. "This ends now," he said. "I won't let you destroy everything." "You can't stop me, traveler," she said, her voice filled with contempt. "I am inevitable." She unleashed a wave of energy, blasting Zephyr with all her might. Zephyr raised his energy shield, deflecting the attack. But the evil me's power was immense, far greater than anything we had faced before. The shield began to crack, groaning under the strain. "She's too strong," Zephyr said, his voice strained. "I can't hold her off for long." "We have to do something," Dr. Reed said, her voice filled with desperation. "But what?" my mother asked. "We've tried everything." I looked at the evil me, studying her movements, searching for a weakness. She was powerful, but she was also vulnerable. Her power came from her pain, her anger, her fear. And those emotions were also her greatest weakness. "I have an idea," I said, my voice filled with determination. "But it's risky. And it might not work." "What is it?" Zephyr asked, deflecting another blast of energy. "We have to reach her," I said. "We have to remind her who she really is. We have to show her the truth." "The truth?" Dr. Reed repeated, confused. "What truth?" "The truth that she's not alone," I said. "The truth that she's not evil. The truth that she can still be saved." "But how?" my father asked. "She's too far gone." "I don't know," I said. "But we have to try. We have to reach the Alia that's still inside her." I turned to face the evil me, my heart pounding with fear. "I'm not going to fight you," I said, my voice trembling but firm. "I'm going to help you." The evil me laughed, a cold, heartless sound. "Help me." "You can't help me, Alia. I'm beyond saving." "That's not true," I said. "There's still good in you." "I know it. I can feel it." "You're a fool," she said. "You're clinging to a false hope. There is no good in me. There is only darkness. I don't believe you, I said. I believe that everyone has the capacity for good. Even you. I took a step closer, reaching out my hand. Please, Alia, I said. Let me help you. Let me show you the truth. The evil me hesitated, her eyes flickering with a hint of doubt. But then her face hardened, and she unleashed a torrent of energy, blasting me with all her might. You can't reach me, she said. I'm too strong. I'm too powerful. I braced myself for the impact, closing my eyes. But then something unexpected happened. The energy didn't hit me. I opened my eyes. Zephyr had stepped in front of me, deflecting the attack with his energy shield. Alia, get out of here, he yelled. She's too dangerous. I'll hold her off. No, I said, shaking my head. I'm not leaving you. I'm not giving up on her. I pushed past Zephyr, walking towards the evil me. What are you doing? She demanded, her voice filled with confusion. Why aren't you fighting me? Because I don't want to fight you, I said. I want to understand you. I want to know why you're doing this. I'm doing this because I have to, she said. Because there's no other way. The multiverse is a chaotic, meaningless place. The only way to survive is to control it. But that's not true, I said. The multiverse is full of beauty, full of wonder, full of hope. You just have to open your eyes and see it. I've seen it, she said. And it's all a lie. A cruel, twisted lie. It doesn't have to be, I said. We can make it better. Together, I reached out my hand again. Please, Alia, I said. Let me help you. Let me show you the truth. The evil me stared at my hand, her eyes filled with a mixture of anger and sadness. For a moment, I thought she might actually take it. But then, her face twisted into a mask of pain, and she unleashed a torrent of energy, blasting me with all her might. I can't, she sobbed. I'm too far gone. I'm too broken. The energy slammed into me, throwing me backwards. I crashed against a wall, the impact knocking the wind out of me. Alia, Zephyr cried, rushing to my side. Are you all right? I'm fine, I gasped, pushing myself up. But I don't think I can reach her. She's too far gone. Don't give up, Zephyr said. There has to be a way. I looked at the evil me, my heart filled with despair. She was standing there, her body trembling, her eyes filled with pain. And then I saw something. A tear. A single tear rolling down her cheek. Wait, I said, holding up my hand. I think I know what to do. I closed my eyes, focusing my mind. I reached out with my thoughts, my feelings, my memories. I reached out to the Alia that was still inside her, the Alia that was crying out for help. I know you're in there, I whispered. I know you're hurting. But you're not alone. We're here for you. We're here to help you. I poured all my love, all my compassion, all my hope into that single thought, sending it out into the universe, hoping that it would reach her. And then, something amazing happened. A light. A faint, flickering light appeared in the evil me's eyes. The light grew stronger, brighter, pushing back the darkness. The evil me gasped, her body trembling. Her face softened, her eyes filled with a mixture of confusion and wonder. What's happening? She whispered, her voice barely audible. What are you doing to me? I'm reminding you who you really are, I said, my voice filled with hope. I'm reminding you that you're not evil. You're not broken. You're just lost. The light in her eyes grew even brighter, pushing back the darkness even further. Her body began to change, her features softening, her expression becoming more peaceful. I remember, she said, her voice gaining strength. I remember the good times. I remember the love. I remember hope. The evil me was gone. In her place stood another Alia, an Alia who was scared, confused, and vulnerable. But also hopeful. Who are you? She asked, looking at me with wide, frightened eyes. I'm you, I said, smiling gently. Or at least, another version of you. And I'm here to help. She looked around the room, taking in the scene. Her eyes fell on Zephyr, Dr. Reed, and my parents. Who are they? She asked. They're our friends, I said. They're here to help too. She hesitated, then nodded slowly. I don't understand, she said. What's going on? It's a long story, I said. But the important thing is that you're safe now. You're not alone anymore. I reached out and took her hand. She squeezed it tightly, her eyes filled with gratitude. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you for saving me. You saved yourself, I said. We just helped you remember who you really are. I turned to face Zephyr, Dr. Reed, and my parents. It's over, I said. We did it, they smiled, their faces filled with relief. What about the rift? Dr. Reed asked. Is it still open? Zephyr closed his eyes, focusing. It's fading, he said. The connection is weakening. I think we can close it. How? I asked. We have to combine our energy, he said. We have to create a force strong enough to seal the rift once and for all. All right, I said. Let's do it. We joined hands, forming a circle. I focused my mind, channeling all my energy into the center of the circle. Zephyr, Dr. Reed, my parents, and the other Alia did the same. A surge of power coursed through us, a wave of pure energy that threatened to overwhelm us. But we held on tight, focusing on our goal. Now, Zephyr said. Together, we unleashed our energy, sending it towards the rift. The rift shimmered and pulsed, its edges glowing with an intense light. The energy slammed into the rift, pushing it closed, sealing it shut. The light faded, and the rift disappeared, leaving behind only a faint scar in the air. It was over. We had done it. We had saved the multiverse. We collapsed to the ground, exhausted but triumphant. We did it, I said, my voice barely a whisper. We did it, Zephyr agreed, smiling wearily. We looked at each other, our faces filled with a mixture of relief and exhaustion. We had been through so much, faced so many challenges, and now it was finally over. What happens now? The other Alia asked, looking at me with wide eyes. Now, I said, we go home, and so we did. We returned to my world, leaving behind the chaos and destruction of the multiverse. The other Alia, who now preferred to be called Alia 2, decided to stay with me, to learn about my life, to find her own path. My parents, finally free from the corruption, returned to their lives, grateful for a second chance. Dr. Reed went back to her lab, eager to continue her research, to use her knowledge to make the world a better place. And Zephyr prepared to leave. I have to go, he said, his eyes filled with sadness. There are other worlds that need my help. Other rifts that need to be sealed. I understand, I said, my heart aching. But I'm going to miss you. I'll miss you too, Alia, he said, taking my hand. But I'll never forget you. You're one of the bravest, most determined people I've ever met. He smiled, a warm, genuine smile that made my heart flutter. And who knows, he said. Maybe our paths will cross again someday. He released my hand, turning to face the swirling portal that would take him back to the multiverse. Goodbye, Alia, he said. And thank you. Goodbye, Zephyr, I said, tears streaming down my face. And thank you for everything. He stepped into the portal, disappearing from sight. I watched as the portal closed, leaving me alone in my lab. It was over. The adventure was over. But the memories would last forever. I looked around my lab, taking in the familiar surroundings. It was good to be home. It was good to be safe. It was good to be alive. I sat down at my desk, opening my notebook. It was time to start a new chapter. It was time to use my knowledge, my experience, to make the world a better place. I picked up my pen and began to write. The multiverse may be a chaotic, meaningless place, but it's also a place full of wonder, full of beauty, full of hope. And it's up to us to make the most of it. It's up to us to choose our own destiny. It's up to us to create the world we want to live in. And I, Alia, am ready to face that challenge. The end.